Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, December 15th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Don't forget to check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. Tegan Knox has announced her free agency date starting January 30th. 2025. She will be a free agent. She's free for bookings, whatever the case may be. Kind of hoping she goes to TNA because they could definitely use more knockouts. Hopefully she'll get that shot. The PWI top tag team of the year has been announced for their annual tag team list. The PWI 250, the 250 or 150, coming in at number one is none other than Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Usually I felt a little off about them being number one, but after looking over all the top tag teams of the year, yeah, they are number one. AEW has denied pulling Willie Mack from an upcoming GCW event. Looks like wires were just crossed, and they denied the event. I mean, there's a little bit of controversy going on between GCW and AEW because of Effie, but they have nothing to do with Willie Mack being pulled. Shotzi Blackheart has returned from injury, and she has aligned herself with Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. It looks like these three will be going forward as a team to face Fatal Influence, the Vince McMahon lawsuit. Well, it's going to continue. Janelle's Grant's lawsuit officially resumed. It was held on a stay and pause back in June, but it will be continuing, and we're just waiting for this to move forward and see what else comes out of it. Carlos Silva has been named the new head of Anthem, and meaning he's the new head of TNA. He has some experience, some 30 years in sports and media, and he's no stranger to growing brands, so we will see what goes on with TNA. Tessa Blanchard has made her return to TNA. This is a tough one. This is a tough one to really talk about because we know the track record that Tessa Blanchard carries with her, but we also know the talent that she also has, and she is a former TNA World Champion. Speaking of someone coming in, someone leaving will be Rhino. He has announced that his final match will be coming up for TNA. His previous 5-year run was pretty good for him, and he is recently inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. A fan ended up slapping Eddie Edwards. That final resolution, they kind of got into it, and that fan was immediately escorted out and arrested. Do not touch the talent, period. On the injury side of things, Kevin Nash is recovering after having successful surgery on a torn bicep. Jimmy Uso's time frame has been revealed for his broken toe. He will be out for a couple more weeks, maybe another month or two, just to heal up from that injury. Bronson Reed will be out for a prolonged period. He will probably be missing WrestleMania, which sucks because it looks like they have really, really big plans for him, but we just got to wait and see. But he's on the road to recovery right now. Allin Angels will be sidelined for the rest of the year after his injury. Remember, he had an ACL injury suffered earlier this year, so he will be out for the rest of the year, looking to come back in 2025 better than ever. The Guns are off of TV because Colton Gunn is injured. Actually, no, Austin Gunn is silent with injury, and you can just have them on the sides while Jay White does his thing for the world title, because we also know that Juice Robinson is out with an injury. He also has undergone successful surgery after sustaining his neck and back injury. He will be out for the time being. And lastly, Alexander Hammerstone has confirmed his knee injury, and he will be having upcoming surgery following final resolution. But that is the news, and we shall be right back with the week in review. All right, let's get into the week in review. Monday Night Raw. This was the go-home show for Saturday night's main event. We opened up with Gunther coming out, talking about his former adoration for Finn and how Finn has kind of just lost and has been playing second fiddle ever since joining the Judgment Day. Well, the Judgment Day then come out to attack Gunther before Priest lays them all out, but Finn gets the last left, and he's the last man standing, hitting multiple coup de grace. Adam Pearce makes the world title match a triple threat match. The Final Testament ends up defeating the Wyatt Six in a very shocking result because nobody expected them to win, but this happened because of Tully getting involved and blowing some white dust into the face of, I believe, Uncle Howdy. CM Punk had an interview calling Seth second string. I'm like, yeah, thank you for holding down the fort, but you're not the top. You're not the captain. Thank you, but no thank you. It's time for you to take a back seat. Liv Morgan defeated Dakota Kai. Pure Fusion Collective attacked Dakota after the match until Damage Control made the save, and Liv Morgan laid out EO with the Oblivions. Drew McIntyre is coming for Sami Zayn and every single person that supported Roman Reigns. Seth says Punk spits nothing but lies. He tried destroying the WWE for 10 years ago. He wants to come back because, well, it's all about the money. He does not care. Sami Zayn came out and apologized to Seth, but Seth called him out for thinking that he was attacked. The first thought that went through his mind was Seth is the attacker. And after Seth left, Drew McIntyre attacked Sami Zayn. And then Lyra Valkyria defeated Zelina Vega and Ivy Now to advance in the IC title tournament. The New Day got Dom heat as they were making their way to the ring. People were just ignoring them and giving them the stink eye, and even they were admonished by Cody Rhodes. Cody told Xavier, yo, we known each other a long time. We went to school together, and I'm ashamed of you. You should be ashamed of yourself. And acting like, oh yeah, like acting like he was so good in high school. Go listen to the interview, the podcast that Xavier did years ago. Apparently Cody Rhodes was like Johnny Lawrence in high school, but I digress. So they come out and the fans are just letting them have it, and they tried to get some words in. They never attacked Biggie. They didn't touch him. And since they couldn't talk, they just left. In the main event, Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Rodriguez in an Anything Goes match. Io and Rhea both hold the title as the show goes off. They are over on Dynamite. World's End begins to take shape. This show gets a thumbs up. So in the opening contest, Mox and Pac versus Orange Cassidy and Jay White ended in a DQ after Hangman attacked the Death Riders. The challengers all end up fighting each other with with Jay White standing tall. Mox backstage says egos ruin professional wrestling, so they think they're good enough. They like their ego. He lays in challenge for all three of them for the world championship at World's End. Then Christian from one of the boxes up in the sky says he'll be ready to cash in a Mox, so he'll be watching. Hook then attacked him in the fort of Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. Will Ospreay defeated Claudio to earn 3 points in the C2. Darby Allin made the save after the match. Ricochet mocked Brody King, says he holds all the cards. Pulls out that MVP card. Matt Cardona challenges Brian Keith to a match on Rampage. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett tell Kyle that their family. And Kyle says, well, they should have thought about that before letting Roderick Strong get hurt. Adam Cole fends off MJF during his match with Kyle O'Reilly and ends up defeating him to face MJF at World's End for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So he finally gets his match against MJF. FTR challenges the Death Riders to show up on Collision. We have Chris Jericho's New York Minute, and he has Brian Keith accept the match. Jericho will be on commentary. Darby Allin says he'll win the C2. This is a nice little interview. Fans were kind of confused about it, and AEW is always right with the wrestling. Ricochet heals it up and defeats Brody King. I think Ricochet is going to join the Hurt Syndicate. Private Party says they'll face the winner of Top Flight and versus Action Andretti and Leo Rush. Anna Jay interrupted Mercedes Monet's interview, says she'll keep proving herself, and that yes, Mercedes is right that by the time Mercedes was 26, she was a 5-time world champion, and Anna's been doing nothing. But Anna says she'll keep proving people wrong. In the main event, Mariah May defeated Mina Shirakawa, retaining the AEW Women's World Championship, and Toni Storm returned to her rocker gimmick after the match. Thunder Rosa was there ringside holding up signs. Looks like she'll be the next challenger for the Women's World Championship. And her last time was what the fuck? You know what I mean? Over on Impact, this is the Final Resolution Go Home show. Moose says he won't do option C, and that he's the most important champion in TNA. Nobody's talking about Nemeth. Nobody's talking about Hendry. Nobody's talking about the Hardys. And Moose says he'll be retiring the Activision Championship and getting a new championship. First Class and Sasha Steelz feel good about their odds tonight and also at the pay-per-view. The Northern Armor interrupts Santana, and Josh Alexander reacquaints Santana with their past history because it was Josh and Ethan Page that ran Santana and Ortiz out of TNA. Rosemary defeated Zaya Brookside. Jordan Grace made the save after the match. Trent Seven is informed that he'll be facing Ace Austin at the pay-per-view. The Rascals beat Leon Slater and Laredo Kid. Trust the System to beat the Hardys at Final Resolution, bringing gold back to the System. Sammy Callahan and PCO defeated Jake Something and Alexander Hammerstone, and the number 23 flashed again. I have no idea who this person could be and what their history is with Sammy Callahan. Danny Luna defeat Heather by Elegance, and in the main event, Nick Nemeth, Joe Hendry, and Masha Slamovich defeated First Class and Tasha Steelz. AJ Francis and Tasha attacked after the match. Masha and Nemeth tried fighting, but it was ultimately futile. Our Final Resolution results on the pre-show: JDC beat Leon Slater. Cass submitted Jonathan Gresham. On the main card, Moose defeated Kushida, retaining the X Division Championship. Ace Austin defeated Trent Seven. Jordan Grace versus Rosemary ended in a no contest as Tessa Blanchard made her return to TNA and attacked Jordan Grace. Joe Hendry defeated Josh Alexander, Santana, and Steve Macklin in a fatal four-way match. Masha Slamovich defeated Tasha Steelz, retaining the Knockouts Championship. The Hardys defeated the System to retain the Tag Team Championships, and in the main event, Nick Nemeth defeated AJ Francis to retain the World Championship. Over on SmackDown, this was our go-home show for Saturday night's main event. This show gets a thumbs up for a bevy of reasons, but we had opening basic promo with Jimmy Uso saying what's next for him. It's the same old. Drew McIntyre attacked him after the match. So yeah, Drew's coming for everybody that's associated with Roman Reigns. This is a good pivot for Drew McIntyre. Nia Jax wishes Tiffany luck and says that after she wins, she won't need the briefcase anymore. Nick Aldis chews out Drew. Tells him to wait in his office. Bianca Belair and Naomi convinced Nick Aldis to let Naomi be the tag team champion with Bianca. So I am thoroughly convinced now that Naomi was the one who attacked Jade. Michin defeated Tiffany Stratton to advance to the U.S. title finals at Saturday night's main event. DIY explains the turn. Yes, they lost the titles, but they never got the rematch. They kept being jumped. They kept being jumped in the line. And then the Motor City Machine Guns come in and just get the titles immediately. Nah, that's not happening. Roman Reigns challenges Solo to Tribal Combat on Netflix. Legato tells Nick Aldis that maybe they'll talk to Pierce about getting some opportunities and maybe moving over to Raw in this transfer window. Carmelo Hayes loses to Braun Strowman. LA Knight will let Solo know whose game it is. LA Knight beat Solo by DQ after Jacob Fatu attacked. Andrade and Apollo Crews tried but ultimately failed to make the save. Pretty Deadly want Braun Strowman for their musical, as they said they need a monster for the musical, but A-Town Down Under convinces him to be on the Grayson Waller effect. Chelsea Green defeated Bayley to advance in the U.S. title tournament finals, so she'll be taking on Mi Chin. The Motor City Machine Guns let Johnny know, and they'll let him know that he's a student while Alex Shelley is the teacher. Nia Jax and Candice LeRae tried Tiffany for losing, and Candice got her and Nia a tag team title match in the main event. They were supposed to be main event segment. There was supposed to be a face-to-face between Cody and KO, and it never happens. KO ultimately said, Cody, you're a liar, you're scum, and you were just more interesting as Stardust. Then he attacked Cody. This feud probably won't be done. Over on Rampage, Matt Cardona defeated Brian Keith. We had the 12 Days of Harley. She was, doing what Harley does. Toni Storm had her return match versus Harley Cameron, and as they're fighting, Harley, being great, said, we'll be right back after these matches if this idiot can remember who she is. Harley Cameron never changed, but ultimately Toni Storm got the win. Deanna Praja won a squash match, defeating Shaza McKenzie. Chris Statlander has unfinished business, will be coming for that TBS championship. The Don Callis family will deal with their opponents, but ultimately they deal with that night because Powerhouse Hobbs and Mark Davis defeated Lance Archer and Konosuke to catch it over Collision. The pieces are starting to come in, not only for the challenges, but for Worlds and for the C2, for multiple storylines. So this show gets a thumbs up. An opening contest, Willow Nightingale defeated Jamie Hayter to move towards Wrestle Dynasty. This was an awesome match. These two these powerhouses really put in a fine performance, and Julia Hart made a return, laying out Jamie Hayter with a reverse DDT. Brody King calls Ricochet out for being a coward, while Claudio won't lose sight after losing recently in the tournament. He's still fairly in the lead. Okada defeated Beast Mortals to earn 3 points. So I believe Mortals doesn't have a single victory. Toni Storm won a squash match, and she says she is all elite. So if you guys don't know, she's running an amnesia gimmick. Because during the match, she went for one of her timeless poses, but then snapped out of it. This is going to be good. Go watch the extracurricular interviews after the show. Mariah May doesn't care about Toni, doesn't care about Rosa, and every single woman will lay down and fall before Rosa challenges her to a Tijuana street fight at World's End, and that was confirmed by AEW. Lio Rush and Action Andretti defeated Top Flight to earn a tag team title shot. Layla Hirsch got hurt during the match, with Lio and Andretti taking advantage of that. I like this little heel tendencies. I like this team of Lio and Andretti. They could be really good for the division. Chris Statlander won a squash match. Dustin Rhodes hypes the Bunkhouse Bras as he and Sammy Guevara will be defending the tag team titles, the Ring of Honor tag team titles, against the Righteous at Final Battle. Dan Garcia, Orange Cassidy, Commander, MXM Collection defeated the Premier. Dan Garcia, Orange Cassidy, Commander, and the Outrunners defeated MXM Collection and the Premier Athletes. Whew. Listen, when you're running through like this is why we prove read. But it was a fun house show type match. Everybody was clearly having fun. This was just good. Powerhouse Hobbs and Takeshita is set for World's End. Mark Briscoe, in one of the shocking wins of the tournament, defeated Kyle Fletcher to earn 3 points. Well, look, Kyle Fletcher can't run away with the tournament now. And as the show's going off the air, the Death Riders kidnap FTR. What's going on over there on Saturday's main event, this glorified house show? Drew McIntyre defeated Sami Zayn. Liv Morgan defeated Io Sky clean, retaining the Women's World Championship. Gunther defeated Finn Balor and Damian Priest to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Chelsea Green defeated Michin to become the inaugural Women's United States Champion. And the main event, Cody Rhodes defeated Kevin Owens to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. This was a fine show. It was okay. I was really hoping KO would win, but after the show was off the air, KO murdered Cody, hitting him with a package proud driver, and they did a stretcher job. KO was essentially running the Kevin Steen story from Ring of Honor, which ended up making him the biggest star in Ring of Honor. Our matches of the week from NXT: Javon Evans versus Wes Lee, and Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Kelani, Jordan, and Giulia. From Dynamite, Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin. This was a really, really good match. From the main event, Mariah May, Mina Shirakawa of the AEW Women's World Championship from a collision. Willow Nightingale versus Jamie Hayter, and Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. I was seeing if I can get something from Raw, seeing if I can get something from SmackDown. SmackDown almost came close. Surprisingly, there wasn't a super standout match from Turning Point, because I really wanted to get one of those matches on here. Just didn't happen. The same thing for Saturday night's main event. Just nothing really got above that threshold. But our star of the week is definitely going to Chelsea Green before becoming the inaugural Women's United States Champion. But that's our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check out the socials first. Before you do that, look on the screen what's coming up. That's some good stuff. Get ready for the cutters. But check out the socials: Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. But that's our show, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.